Welcome back, Lacrosse friends, to the 2018 Baggataway Cup Championship game, live on Lacrosse TV from University of Toronto's Varsity Stadium. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Pat Gregoire. It is 4-2 in favor of the Brock Badgers over the Western Mustangs, and we are looking forward to a brilliant second half of action.
Yeah, the first half was a great battle defensively. I thought both goaltenders played very well. Josh Wood making some key saves. I think that in the last few years, you could argue maybe goaltending was the weakest point for this Badgers team. But boy, has Josh Wood stepped up here in the playoffs.
Some huge saves. There's a bit of a repair going on to the net to our right, which will be defended by the Western Mustangs. And such a veteran play. Manny Najjar sees that they're repairing the net. There's some string being tied in. So he was up talking to his defenders, taking those moments just before the half gets underway. Now we return to the face-off battle. Jackson Rakosi, 51 for Western in purple. Mitch Gustafson, 19 for Brock in white. Gustafson, another face-off win for Brock. Oh, double pop. We talked about it earlier. Those sticks take a beating. You have one chance to pop it out of your stick. If it doesn't come, that is a turnover. So Gustafson will hand the ball over to Western, and the Mustangs will have the first chance to get on the board here in the second half of play. A beautiful afternoon at Varsity Stadium, and we just want to send our thanks out to Jill Clark and her team here in the athletic department, who have been organizing this event, put so much into it. What a fantastic job they've done as hosts. Great productions, everything's just been taken care of. It's flowed so smoothly. Ferris to Cole Davis. They'd love to get him on track. Or untracked. I've never understood why it's untracked. You want to be on track, don't you?
You'd think so, right?
Simeone. Then the shovel backhand shot by Rowan Kelly. That's stopped by Wood. He had to be alert, but he was, so it turned into a fairly easy save. Chris Wire on the run. Kurtzmeyer stepped over. There's a shot. Kurtzmeyer looked like he was worried he was going offside, but he was fine. They had three others back. Brock takes the shot. They'll get possession as it went wide and rolled at the back. Rahanic starts with it.
Perfect rotation and couple slides there for Brock, forcing the only shot to be a shovel shot from Rowan Kelly. Perfectly played.
And you might think, well, why even take the shot? It's a very low percentage shot, but I'm not sure how many other options he had because there was a lot of pressure around him.
Oh, yeah. If he doesn't take that shot, there's a good chance he might get stripped anyways.
Yeah, you can try and pull it out, but Brock set up in the offensive zone. Campbell Parker. Over to Rahanic, watched by Moriyama. Up to Alex Pace. Grayson Houghton heads back over center. And here comes Green Blakely with a head of steam to a wide open Tristan Rahanic. That is a very uncharacteristic breakdown for Western, and it's a goal for Brock.
Big breakdown, but how about that find from Green Blakely? That's 2 assists for him now on the afternoon. Rahanic coming into a bigger role. He's seen a lot of play during the year, but was added to the starting staff after Neil goes down. And he's been great. He's not only scoring goals for this team, he comes up with big loose balls, creating some space. And that one right there might be his biggest goal so far.
Yeah, Rahanic from Brampton joined the Elora Mohawks at the trade deadline in the summer and won a Founders Cup with them, and now having a big role here with Brock. He is an undeclared arts major in his third year of eligibility. And he does score some big goals. Cree Blakely, a native from St. Catharines, staying at Brock, taking kinesiology. And now Western up in the offensive zone, and Rakosi will move in. He's an education student from Burlington, Ontario. And he is showing some offensive prowess here, but being covered nicely by Mackenzie Mitchell. Gets it over to Kiwa. Kiwa eventually makes the short pass over to Cody Ward. Up to Byrne. Cardiff wanted the ball, but he was covered, so they're going to go to Ward. Now Byrne will cut, and Cardiff gets it on the trail. 5-2 for the Badgers. Kind of unbelievable that we only had 6 goals in the entire first half of this game. There's a chance, but that short angle shot by Simeone just didn't have room to get it past Josh Woods, who was in perfect position.
Good slide there by Harris, but the secondary slide wasn't there. It was there, but just a little too late from Tamas.
They tried to get it to Ward on his offside, and he couldn't quite get his stick on, and that one goes off the post. Tequila gets the shot off. He is down after being flattened from behind. We have a flag. Western is going to go to the man advantage. Brock with a vocal and supportive fan section down right below us. Not sure how much of that you pick on the ambient mic down at field level. Rowan Kelly passes it through, takes the ball back from Davis. Simeone, nice wheel. There's Davis. Oh, what a tuck home by Rowan Kelly on the doorstep. Picks up Davis's rebound. And there's no chance for Joshua Wood on that one.
Yeah, next to no chance for him there. Davis with that outside shot. That's the look they wanted. They run that wheel, free up space for Davis. The big shot at top doesn't sink, but instead, Rowan Kelly, such a headsy player, heads to the net, grabs that rebound and puts it home.
Rakosi and Gustafson once again at the dot. We're chatting with Tim Murdoch, the McGill head coach, at halftime, and he was saying that Rakosi won, was it 64%? 65% of the draws against them yesterday. Huge factor in their win over the McGill Redmen. Rakosi comes up with another one here. Pops it out. He was not trying to pop it out, and I think it's because there was so much pressure from Mackenzie Mitchell. He must have felt that it was really in there. Mm-hmm. You could tell he didn't want to try it if he couldn't give it a good pop to get it going, because if you even if it's just a small effort and it doesn't come out, you do give the ball a very headsy play by the veteran faceoff man. He still got the ball and eventually now does give it up to Simeone. Watched by Tamas. Kelly ran all the way down to below GLE to make himself available. Now up to Davis. Rakosi's just now heading off the field. Nick Ferris will take his spot. And then John Andrew Kitt will come back onto the defensive end. There's a big save by Wood as Kelly driving to try and get his second straight. And Wood with a little balletic move to knock that one away. Gets the pass back from Latrell Harris. Pass is high and drifts straight out to Austin Haber. Here's a chance for the Mustangs. Ferris backing up that pass, gets it, spins around, a little pirouette. Drew Papadenik just kind of looked up at that ball above me. Couldn't believe that pass was sailing so high above his head. Simeone slowing things down. Over to Tequila. Cody Ward will pop up and take the pass from Ferris. Kirchmeier on him. He moves it immediately to Kelly. Kelly with the short stick on him. It's Chris Wire, though, the All-Canadian short stick team, many honorable mention. Hard underhand shot by Tequila, but stopped by Wood. Harris gets stripped, but it pops over to Kirchmeier. Papadenik running into some trouble from Ward. Manages to bounce it to Wood. They get that one through, and here comes Alec Tamas rumbling down. Rahanek.
A little bit of an ugly clear there for the Badgers, but nonetheless, it gets the job done.
Yeah, that's the key, is to get it up, and now they're just going to take their time and settle down a bit. They've got a 2-goal lead, which obviously is not enough to be just sitting on, but it can make you a bit comfortable enough to just take a breath. Settle things down and get rolling. Connor Brown with the ball. Feeds it through to Ham. He'll wind up and rifle one a bit wide. Rahanic gets the loose ball, or the spare ball, down along the end line. Lobs it all the way back up to Jordan Gillis. Really curious because, again, Curtis Woodland not out there. We haven't seen nearly as much of him as we're used to. I'm really wondering if he's having some kind of physical issue, or if they just feel that, I don't know, the matchups are working for him. I mean, they're leading. Things are working out pretty well for them, but it's hard not to think you wouldn't want Woodland out there if you could. He's going to slip in now. Takes that pass as he enters the fray. Falls to the turf, jumps up, is pitchforked down by Crowley. Somehow still has the ball as he comes out of it, and one hand whips a pass to Parker, but it's too hot. He gets through his legs.
You talked about the Brock cheering section. Well, the Western cheering section going absolutely bananas there after that great play.
Yeah, Keegan Crowley has been outstanding. Crowley, an honorable mention LSM with the Mustangs this year. And I mean, it's tough when Latrell Harris
I was
is
just
playing.
going to say, that's the only
LSM
reason.
in your division, you may not be the all-Canadian first choice very often. Kelly looks to Haber, who's going to come and set a bit of a... No, he's just going to clear out. Kelly matched up against Wire. Now some help coming from Ward. Swim move. Backing his way in. Gets stripped, though. Great job by Wire. Tamas tries to get it, but Haber swats it ahead. It's snagged by Papadinic. Nice pass ahead to Woodland. He's got Crow come. Oh, he holds on to it again. Flag is up. Is that going to be against John Andrew Kitt? Yeah, flag is dropped. Ball hits the ground, so play will be called down.
It's a couple flags on the turf.
Kitt is going for sure, number 8 for Western. He is sitting already. I'm not sure if the two flags are for the same foul or if there is something else being adjudicated. Oh. Okay, there are two penalties.
Yep.
Wow, huge chance for Brock to try and extend this lead with a 5-3 edge. 9:12 to go in the third quarter of the Baggataway Cup Championship on Lacrosse TV. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. Both fouls are to Kitt. So the good news for Western is they get 5 players out there. The bad news is they only have 5 for a full minute.
And one of your top defenders is sitting in the box.
Yes. AJ Skirving steps in, playing long pole here. So Haber is your only short stick. That's not so bad. Ham rips it off the post. And Manny Najjar calmly watches it bounce back out to Hayden Nix, who will loft one ahead to Skirving. Nice angle to get through a couple of Brock forwards. Attack that were on him. And he'll lob it all the way back to Nix. And John Andrew Kitt is applauding in the penalty area.
It's no worse feeling than sitting in the sin bin watching your team go out there, try to kill a penalty for you. It's so nerve-wracking, especially in a championship game in a pivotal moment.
Kitt is released, I believe. Yep, there we go. Kitt's released. Rowan Kelly comes out. And then Kitt will return to the field after they complete their changes. And Western goes into the attack. Cole Davis on Wire. Gets it down to Ferris. The bouncer from Ward. And he finds the back of the net to get one back for the Mustangs. It's a 1-goal game, 5-4 for Brock.
Another big goal for Cody Ward and another big turf sweep for him as well. He ripped that one from almost the 35-yard line on the football field here.
And given that the goal line is the 15, that's a long way.
Pretty deep shot. And we know Ward very confident in his game. So good in tight, but boy, does he have a great outside shot. Throws that skipper, which gives a tough challenge for Joshua Wood.
There's a lot of traffic. It didn't look like Wood ever saw it. Gustafson, now I think he's disagreeing. He's called for the ball not coming out on the pop. It was kind of a delay. It looked like it was just one pop and it did come out, but it sort of hesitated. So I don't know if how you'd interpret that. Obviously, that's a judgment call because it didn't come out clean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really argue with the call, but it did come out eventually on the one pop. That's a really tough one. Western does take possession. And Patrick Gamble is there. No relation to Jesse Gamble, I found out, thanks to for that information to Paul Coates. Cody Ward, the last goal scorer, has the ball. Kirchmeier on Ward, the dueling 14s. And Ward drifting into space. He's so sneaky. He'll just almost make himself disappear and then just appear where he has a chance to score like he did last time. There's a nice run there by Byrne, and penalty coming to Tamas.
Don't know how much I like that slashing call there, to be quite honest. It was a nice slide by Tamas, but good job for Byrne to run out, get away from the slide, and the ref deemed that Tamas just a little too much pepper on that slash.
So the Mustangs go back to the man up. Tequila back to Simeone. Ferris turns and rips straight into the stick on the high-to-high. And that's going to be a checking in the crease call. That's just an error in judgment by Jonathan Tequila. Just kind of lost control as he rushed in to check Josh Wood. And now Simeone is going to try and force Mackenzie Mitchell out of play, out of bounds, as the delay is still on, the delayed penalty. All the way to the net, shooting. Another flag is down, or the flag has hit the turf. And they're going to say crease. There is another one. Ryan Dutkus has thrown his hat. There's another penalty coming. Big save by Najjar. And what a rumble by Mackenzie Mitchell. Go end to end on the field. And you could tell he's watched the highlight of Campbell Parker's winning goal yesterday a few times because he was waving that the stick around in one hand.
Yeah, Mac Mitchell's been a little bit of an unsung hero for this Brock Badgers team. He did a pretty fine job when been called upon to cover Nick Tchaikovsky yesterday in that semifinals. Did a great job. He plays a little offense when he's needed. He's great on the wing for loose balls. And then there you see he can chip in offensively. Didn't score there, but a great chance. He's one of the fine, well-tuned, all-around players this Badgers team has.
On the screen you see Tim Louie pleading his case. I'm not sure exactly what has been called. We might have to check with we do have our Kevin Kaplis, our assistant commissioner, I believe is monitoring the feed. Brent Colombe is over serving as the RIC over a couple of booths over. So maybe somebody can come and explain to us exactly what was just adjudicated. So far, Tamas still over in the box is the only guy in there, and the lofted pass. Byrne just about had it. He's dragged down by Connor Brown, and that's going to be Western possession as Brown just dragged him to the ground. No penalty, but they do award the ball to the Mustangs. They will have a chance to come in and try and score to even things up. They trail 5-4 with 4:12 to go here in the third quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire, and this is the Baggataway Cup Championship 2018 on Lacrosse TV. Ward, watched by Kirchmeier. This has been the normal matchup for them. Kind of having Latrell Harris drift from player to player, pick up whoever seems most dangerous at the time to him. Here's a break for Davis. Oh, what a save. Josh Wood makes the big stop. Ball goes into the corner. It's grabbed by Tequila. Oh, his pass is knocked down en route to Cody Ward. Ward's going to hope that rolls out. It does. And Western will get possession. Smart play to not try to grab that ball in case it got away from him. He had Kirchmeier on his back, but was able to protect the position. Here comes Cole Davis driving to the net, shoots. It gets away from him. Latrell Harris has it. He's stripped, and then it pops away. The ball rolls all the way down to Hayden Nix, and he'll just lob it ahead to Cody Ward. Coming up to the final 3 minutes, Western applying some pressure.
Just quickly got an explanation. Because it was 3 technical fouls there, they all wash each other.
Okay.
So
that's where the knowledge of the in-depth knowledge of the rule book is very useful.
Yes.
Chances for Western. There's the finish. Tequila, and a flag is up. Have they signaled the goal? Yes, the goal counts as Tequila finishes a beautiful passing play. Boy, Rowan Kelly and now Jonathan Tequila with goals right on top of the crease, Pat.
that's the thing. Wood has been so great on the outside shots. Western has had to figure out a way to get to the middle, and they do that time. Tequila with a huge goal on the crease. That's just injected life into this Western bench. They're all fired up. This is a 5-5 game.
Coming into the final 2 minutes of the third quarter, and Alec Tamas is back in the penalty area. He's going to be sent an invoice for rent of that chair at the end of the weekend. And Tim Louie goes to have a word in his ear. I'm sure he's trying to buoy him up. You can see he gave him a bit of a pat on the helmet. I would imagine at this point the message is play your game. Just be smart about what you're doing. You've seen the standard. You see what they're calling. We can't afford to have you in here, but don't stop playing your game.
Yeah, it's we've talked about it so many times throughout this tournament. It's so tough to play that line, and I just saw the replay of it again. Just maybe a half second or even a full second, just too late after Ferris threw that beautiful behind the back pass.
Latrell Harris almost came away clean with that pass off the stick of Rowan Kelly, but it was knocked down, and eventually it's going to roll over to Jonathan Tequila on the far side. There's Ward, his shot well wide. Actually looked like Mac Mitchell may have got a bit of it.
Yeah, he did. That was a perfect rotation as well.
Yeah. So either way, I mean, it was a shot that went out of bounds and Western was in position, plus it's off of Brock. So even it had been considered a pass.
Now we're all even.
Tamas back out. The ball is knocked loose, and Wire tries to swipe it ahead to himself, but Kelly manages to get his feet in the way. Ferris rolls, and it's picked up by Justin Brack. Parker scores, takes the pass from Harris, spins. He can't score a dull goal. That's another beauty.
Campbell Parker earning the nickname of the human highlight reel this weekend. Another gorgeous goal this time. A little pirouette on the crease before he slams home another big goal for this Badgers team. But Latrell Harris, again, pushing the ball in transition on the odd man rush and finding Parker right in his spot.
That is it for 3/4 of play. Brock pulls ahead 6-5. We're going to take a 3-minute break and be back with the final 20 minutes or more, if necessary, of the 2018 Baggataway Cup Championship on Lacrosse TV. We're back for the final quarter of regulation time of the 2018 Baggataway Cup here on Lacrosse TV. Quick reminder that this broadcast is the copyrighted material of Lacrosse TV and the Canadian University Field Lacrosse Association. No rebroadcast or retransmission is permissible without express written consent. Keegan Crowley jumps in and earns a face-off win for Jackson Rakosi. Pressure on him from Mac Mitchell, but he gets it back to Nix. Rahanic all over him, but he does get the pass through to Manny Najjar. Western has the first possession of the fourth.
Yeah, that first face-off of the fourth quarter is so key. You grab possession, slow things down, start to try to work on your offense, and try to knot this thing back up.
Yeah, I think Western's got to be feeling pretty good. Having been down 3-0, here they are, just down by 1, and they know they can score anytime. Cody Ward, probably their most dangerous weapon. Rowan Kelly initiates against Wire. Starts to win again. There's Harris with the slide and the pressure. Somehow Kelly hangs on to it and gets the pass over. That's a great play to get it to Cole Davis. Back to Kelly. He's got a chance. He scores and ties it up. Great passing, great finish. We're at 6-6.
That's a miscue between two veteran defenders, Harris and Mitchell. You saw Harris slide. Maybe the slide wasn't needed, but Mitchell needs to recognize that slide is coming. You got to assume Harris was screaming, letting you know that that hot slide's coming. Instead, neither of them pick up Rowan Kelly, and Rowan Kelly, the man they call Killer, scores a huge goal from the outside.
Nico Baudouin is in there. Sorry, Sebastien Baudouin. His brother Nico is coaching. And Western will get another face-off win. Assuming Austin Haber can pick this up. He kind of overruns it. And Latrell Harris is there to get it for Brock. What an effort. I thought Haber kind of hesitated to pick the ball up a little. Wound up costing him. He might have felt like he was under pressure and could tap it ahead and have more space after. But then Latrell Harris happened.
Yeah, hesitating when Latrell Harris is at your back is never. I mean, sure, it should be expected, as he's such a dominant player.
So the timeout by Brock as they were under some pressure. "17 and a half minutes to go, 6-6, and pretty much exactly what we were expecting from these two teams in terms of a back and forth contest with some great plays on either side and enough pressure from both teams, both the defenses and on the hard rides, to cause some miscues and a few errors here and there.
Yeah, I mean, these teams are so good, but they're going to make mistakes, and a lot of it has been the miscues by the offenses because of how good and high pressure these defenses are playing. But the play of Josh Wood, he's been outstanding as well. I mean, Manny Najjar has been great as well, but Wood, I have felt in this Baggataway Cup run, just each game by game, he just has continued to step up. That game against Guelph in the first round of the playoffs, he made 15 saves, including one that was right on the doorstep. That really turned the tide and allowed the Brock Badgers to get their confidence back and end up running away with that game.
Brock will start with possession, and it will be Cree Blakely. Curtis Woodland lobs it down to Campbell Parker. Back up to Connor Brown. All three lefties having a go. Now Blakely will get it to Connor Ham. Brock taking their time, going with the 1-4-1. Blakely initiates, gets by Byrne a little bit. Feeds it behind the net. Rahanic, watched by Moriyama, but gets it to Woodland. He pulls out. Great defense by Keegan Crowley to jump on him. Sidearm shot, but doesn't get through. It's going to roll out the back, and Rahanic will be there to get it.
Nice defense from Byrne there to force that outside shot. Not the greatest selection, but when you have backup, it's more of a possession shot.
One-hand attempt there by Connor Brown. That one's going to get out to the side. And the officials confer with each other because it was close. Keegan Crowley sprinting to try and get there, but good positioning by Cree Blakely to get the ball back for the Badgers.
Yeah, it's not too often you see Keegan Crowley lose a foot race.
No. He was starting from behind.
I mean, still.
Yeah.
He still usually wins those races.
Good point. Brock really getting methodical here. Now Blakely will start to initiate something against Michael Byrne. Backpedaling away. There was some help there from Moriyama. Now everyone goes back to their assignments. And Connor Brown will try to start something. Haber on him. Oh, what a great job by Haber. Brown gets it back up top. Campbell Parker. Watched by Haber. Haber strips it. What a play. Najjar getting in there, digging away. Ooh, what a chop by Hayden Nix. There's the flag. Oh, that's just a mistake. You get it. You get the temptation because the ball's been down there. Nobody can get it. You're building and building, but you just can't wind up and chop somebody like that.
No, anytime you make a huge wind up like that, the official's going to be throwing that flag as quick as possible. But how about that ice pick check from Austin Haber, just stripping the ball right out of the stick of Parker.
Haber's unbelievable. The impact he has on a game.
Just each season he gets better and better. I had the pleasure to coach him with the West Durham Junior B Ironheads, and he's just a freak athlete. Anything you ask him to do, he'll do it.
Yeah, a real gamer. Here's Campbell Parker. Woodland double clutches on the pass with a little fake. Alex Pace sees a bit of room, but Crowley is there to take away the shooting lane. Blakely to Pace. Curtis Woodland is trying to find a little spot. Western just keeps shifting, and the pass through. Oh, I'm going to say that was a shot. I thought he was passing that to Curtis Woodland.
I think it was a shot. Oh, yeah, it was a shot.
It was a hard pass. He missed by so much. Yeah. There's Woodland. He's got room in a goal. Curtis Woodland puts the Badgers back on top.
You're not going to keep Curtis Woodland off the score sheet for that long. As you see that skip pass right up to the midfield spot, Woodland unloads that heavy, heavy shot. Normally he picks corners, skips. That one there, he just puts all his might and it just blows that one right by Manny Najjar.
Good thing that the officials and the stadium crew here have been going in and tying up the nets, because that would have gone right through.
Yeah, Najjar with absolutely no chance there.
An extended battle here between Gustafson and Rakosi. It looks like Crowley's going to come up with it. Oh, no, Mac Mitchell all over him. You talked about him as an unsung hero, and he was right there. And then Latrell Harris gets away from Cody Ward with all kinds of pressure. Josh Wood didn't realize that Simeone was coming, and he just gets it over to Tamas. Ahead to Papadenic, and Mac Mitchell, who started this whole thing, has the ball. Brock settling things down. Parker comes up to pace from the stick of Houghton. Back to Houghton. Burn on him, Haber on pace. All the other Badgers down right around the crease, basically making a diamond around the crease. Houghton burst through. Haber knocked it down. Didn't see where it went, but it went straight to Michael Byrne. He comes up with it and fights through traffic, spins away. Bounces it to the far side to Hayden Nix. Pressure immediately from Parker. The calm pass gets it to Najar, and Western will start the clear. And there's John Andrew Kitt, who's just been the outlet valve all day for this Western clear. He has been outstanding.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic game. You mentioned how it seems one defender each game kind of rises a little more than the other. I think Kitt has been that defender here today.
We approach the midway point of this fourth quarter, 10:48 to go. 7-6 Badgers. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. This is Lacrosse TV's presentation of the 2018 Baggataway Cup. Rowan Kelly. Tequila lost it momentarily. Nobody was close enough to make anything happen of it, though, as he quickly grabbed it and gets it to Simeone. Cody Ward pops out, but Davis is going to take a shot. Kirchmeier grabs it. He's tripped up by Latrell Harris, and that's going to turn it over to Cody Ward. Tough break for the Badgers as the two of them ran into each other.
The great slide by Papadanic before that to block it. You get out there, but just an unfortunate bounce for Kirchmeier as he gets tripped up in his own teammate's feet.
Very alert of the Mustangs to get it back, and now Rowan Kelly is going to try and generate something. Back up to Davis. The shot, it gets away. Nice job there by Justin Brack to just get enough to throw off the stroke of Cole Davis. Ward starts with it. Nick Ferris tried to spin, but Latrell Harris was right there. Then he pulls the ball out. All kinds of pressure, and he just calmly rolls it back. And then almost cheekily there by Kirchmeier, and eventually move it ahead. It's too high for Tamas, and that's going to go off of Connor Hammond out of play. And Tamas has to be careful. He bumped a player after the whistle there, and he's actually kind of lucky he didn't get another penalty, I think.
Yeah, especially we know the officials have their eyes on him already. He's got to be careful.
John Andrew Kitt ran the ball out of trouble there after picking it up on the restart. And again, he started to drift into the zone, but Haber was available, so Najar gets it to him, and Kitt adeptly sees that and stays on his own side of center.
These two teams are so evenly matched, but the one area that one team is a lot more dominant is the clearing for Western.
Yeah.
And then even the ride as well. They just are so much more clean and crisp on both sides of the ball. Everything else, it's a coin flip of who has the edge. But today and probably all season long, the edge has gone to Western in the clearing department.
William Carnduff patiently spinning behind the net. Wire on him. The shot saved by Wood. Cody Ward putting his palms up. He's looking for something to happen. Drives through, loses the ball. Kirchmeier tried to scoop it up and flipping it over to Wood. Wood makes the outlet. McGregor Allen in for a shift. He hands the ball off. And here's Mac Mitchell going for a run. Parker.
Sometimes when you're struggling with clearing the ball, the best way to do it is just be an athlete and use your legs, run it up the field. That's exactly what Mac Mitchell did there.
Connor Brown, watched by Michael Byrne. Bulling his way through. He's going to get a shot, scores! Lands hard on his back, draws a penalty, but he is ready to celebrate after that huge goal.
Massive goal for Connor Brown. He's been a true X factor during this Baggataway playoffs. Had a huge game against Guelph. Was unbelievable against Nipissing. And he just scores big goals. Doesn't matter if he's playing for the Badgers, the Halton Hill Bulldogs, or even the Brampton Excelsiors. This is a guy that just finds clutch ways to score big goals for his team. And draw penalties, as you mentioned, as the Badgers are going to have a chance to extend this lead.
And of course, possession after the goal is such a huge factor here with the 8-6 lead, right down to 5:45 to go. Reminder, for the last 3 minutes of this fourth quarter, the clock will be stopped on the stadium scoreboard, which is the one we're linked to on the screen here. So we will have to estimate for you the time at that point. Brock taking their time. Sidearm rip by Woodland. Najjar gets just enough. It goes out the back. Play blown back in. Houghton. Quick movement. It's knocked down by Moriyama. But heads up play by Alex Pace to get it back. There's a chance. Najjar is going to get the ball back for Western. What a hustle play by Manny Najjar to race to the end line. And because it came off to the side, he had the angle, because Campbell Parker was closer to the end line, but Najjar had the angle closer to the ball.
Great job by Austin Haber to get out there, sacrifice the body. Takes a hard shot from Connor Ham right on the dome.
Western needs to make something happen, but they can be patient. They just have to value possession and make sure they can generate a chance here. It's Papadinic watching Tekiwa, who passes it across. Rowan Kelly. Watched by Mac Mitchell. There's Davis. Cody Ward sitting a little bit alone. Now he pops open. They find him, but the pass is too low. Oh, Cole Davis is going to be very upset with himself because Cody Ward had found a soft spot and popped out at the perfect moment, and the pass was just right down by his feet.
Yeah, Cole Davis doing a good job dodging, drawing that slide, creating the separation, but has to be a little more crisp with that pass. As we know, if Cody Ward gets the ball in that spot, he's going to cash it, no doubt.
Oh, it'd be in the net. Oh, great job by Crowley, but it bounces away from him. Huge save by Najjar as Rahanic jumped up to catch that ball. The tipped pass almost banged it in, but he did land in the crease. So play was blown down, and Western will get possession. John Andrew Kitt starts with it. Sorry, no, that's Austin Haber. Lobs it ahead to Nick Ferris. Keeps it moving. Gonna go back to Ferris. We're into the final 3 minutes. Cardiff coming from the back, watched there by Wire, trying to fight his way through. Shovels it off the post. Oh, what a break for Brock. Tristan Simeone just dragged the head of his stick for about 5 steps in disbelief that he didn't quite get that one. 36 square feet of net, and he bangs it off the iron. Cardiff watched by Wire. 5 purple jerseys up top. Simeone cuts free, and it's in. I don't think he ever controlled that ball. It looked like it bounced off the throat of his stick. Brock is arguing. Popadinik doesn't like the call.
That's an unfortunate bounce for Josh Wood, who's been so solid and strong all game long, and lets an ugly one, an unfortunate one slip by him. But you see the defense rallying together, all talking, no worries, no panic, don't worry about it. And
they're still ahead with about 2 minutes to go. And the thing about it is, from the defensive perspective and Wood's perspective, it was a tough break. On the other hand, Tristan Simeone did get wide open. And I'm just watching the replays. We have not the replay, but we have the feed is behind the live action. Is another big face-off win for Mitch Gustafson, and Brock is going to grab a timeout.
That's a huge draw from the Gus bus, and great timeout from Tim Louie and the Brock coaching staff to recognize that there was no chance that ball was coming loose. And it looks like we're going to have a stick check for Mitch Gustafson's face-off stick.
It's not a bad call. They'll measure the length, which is probably not the issue that Western is contesting. But everything is measured, make sure everything's in compliance. And Mitch Gustafson is just standing apart from the rest of the Brock Badgers, rocking back and forth, hoping that his stick will be okay. No, the flag comes out. So that's huge. So, oh wait. The Brock coach just grabbed Gustafson's stick and shook it over his head. Is the call on Gustafson or is it on Western?
It looks like the stick is good indeed, so Western's going to get the penalty.
There you go. Wow. Yeah, the Brock coach, I thought the call was coming against Gustafson, then the Brock coach just went over and raised the stick over his head and pumped it a few times.
If it was illegal, they wouldn't have got the stick back. It would have had to been at the scorer's table.
Yeah, it would have been confiscated, and it would have been a 3-minute penalty. So, wow. Mitch Gustafson breathes a huge sigh of relief. And the Brock Badgers will have the ball and a man advantage. Can they get their first Baggataway Cup championship since 2009? It would be the 19th overall in Brock Badgers history, but the first in almost a decade. Ham. He's heading into the corner. The penalty is over. Moriyama comes to pressure. We'll see when Najjar comes out to join in the defense. Ham gets away from Moriyama. It's a good thing Najjar wasn't out there. He may have put it in, although you probably don't want to put the ball in the net if you're Brock. Oh, a possession call. And Western has a chance. Michael Byrne. Watched there by Parker. The diving attempt. He's offside. Was he not offside?
It was close.
It was close. He was laying half of him on either side of the line like he was straddling the equator. Western takes a timeout and they'll set things up.
Absolutely massive. Western now with possession here. They'll have time to chalk something up, talk something over, and get a chance to tie this game back up. And we anticipated a close one, and that's exactly what this thing is, coming down to the wire.
Last year, after 80 minutes of play, the score was 12-12. Sorry, yes, 12-12. We went to overtime. 6 goals in the overtime made it a 16-14 final for the Western Mustangs, their second straight Baggataway Cup championship. They are hoping to get their 6th of all time today and 3rd in a row. Brock, of course, is looking for a huge stop here. They have the defense to make it extremely difficult for Western, but Western has Cody Ward, among others, to try and get something happening here. If you had to draw it up, if you're Jeremy Talleve and his staff, what are you trying to set up for this play?
I mean, it's so tough the way that when you have a guy like Cole Davis, who has such a great outside shot, do you maybe try to initiate a dodge for him to take that outside look?
And hopefully you pull someone and get Cody Ward open.
Exactly, get Cody Ward open, or do you try to go a short stick?
Western, the nice thing with having Jackson Rakosia is
picked off.
Oh, it's picked off. What a play. My goodness, Adam Kirchmeier, but it goes out of bounds. Cody Ward goes and grabs the ball. He wants to get started right away. Passes it down low. The clock is not on the field yet. Kelly to Nick Ferris. Ferris scores. Nick Ferris has tied the game. We figured there was a good chance of overtime. Now there's an excellent chance of overtime.
That goal does not happen if Cody Ward does not put unbelievable pressure on Kirchmeier, turn that ball over. He gets the ball. It's a quick inbound, just fires it over to Nick Ferris, who's all alone because it's a quick whistle, right?
Yeah.
Half of Brock's team starting to move up midfield. They're trying to get back into the hole, set up their defense. They can't do that, and it allows Nick Ferris to be wide open, and he unleashes that big outside shot, ties the game up.
Rakosi and Gustafson went early. So Western gets the ball, and they have a timeout left, and they're trying to take it, and they do.
Fans are reminded to please stay off the track and field at the conclusion of the game. Thank you once again for your cooperation.
So Western will set something up. They're going to see if they can strike magic once again. 8-8 in the dying moments of this game. What an event it has been. I want to thank all of you lacrosse friends for being with us. Everyone here at the U of T, fabulous job as hosts. My partner, Pat Gregoire, and the broadcast crew here at U of T, the Kufla executive. You have Commissioner David Fennicky down on the track waiting to see to whom he will be presenting the Baggataway Cup. He's joined by Kevin Kaplis, an assistant commissioner, and Mark Walker, who handles the finances and things. All of them put a lot of their volunteer time into this league, as do all of the coaches, the players. Just so much effort put in by so many people, and it culminates in this event. And boy, this game is doing it justice.
Oh, it certainly is. It's anytime these two teams meet, never mind on Baggataway weekend, you know you're in for a treat. They hate each other, but they do respect each other. Two of the top programs in the entire country.
Nick Ferris goes up the top to take the ball. It looked like Cole Davis was going to go, and then Rowan Kelly, maybe it was Ferris starting with it. He scored that last goal. If he gets another one, he will be the man of the moment, that's for sure. Ferris under pressure from Latrell Harris. Behind the back to Cody Ward. Gets it there. Kirchmeier's on him. Ward gets a half a step. Kirchmeier closes and cuts the angle. Swim move. Going to the net. Ward, shovel pass. Doesn't get to Kelly, but Ferris is there. Clock's not on the field yet. We've got a bit of time. Gets away from Davis. He tracks it down. He's going for a run. Some room for Kelly. Couldn't catch it behind the back. Ward gets it. Swats it ahead to himself. He comes up with the ball. Coming out. Shoots. Save. I don't think it got to Wood. I think that hit Mac McKenzie.
It did.
Ball goes out the back. And that's time. There you go. The CBO must have been keeping the time, not the scorekeeper. Nobody came out on the field.
No.
I didn't see the clock. So We will have a 5-minute break. Then we will have overtime. We'll have 2 complete 4-minute overtime halves, 1 timeout for each team during that time. We'll be back with the conclusion of the Baggataway Cup on Lacrosse TV after this.
Fans, one more reminder of our overtime rules. We will play 2 full periods of 4 minutes each. With stop time, clock will be held at the technical table as opposed to on the scoreboard. After the 2 4-minute periods, if we're still tied, we will go to sudden death.
All right, lacrosse fans, it looks like we're getting ready to go. You can take that minute and a half off because they have 4 up on the board, and we are ready for the face-off. And it is again, of course, Rakosi and Gustafson, and this is a battle. Ball's loose. Haber taps it. It's going to be Crowley going after. I think it went off of Austin Haber. It should be Brock possession. The referee's looking at each other. Oh, they're going to give it to Western. And Austin Haber almost gave that away because he was kind of jumping up and down. He was upset with himself that it got away. I think Austin Haber swatted that ball, unless it hit a Brock leg or something on the way out.
Haber's, I know.
It's a tough call. I mean, there's so many people around.
Haber's lucky, too. He started to run over to continue the play when he didn't have his stick in his hand because that would have been blown down for playing without your stick as well.
Right. So after all of that exciting start to this exciting overtime period, we're going to slow things down a little bit, and Hayden next will come up and just hand it off to Rowan Kelly. Tristan Simeone. Western not in a hurry to initiate. Haber is just headed off, and Cole Davis is trotting into the play behind. Davis gets the ball now. He's got Chris Wire on him. Pulls it down, cuts in, shoots, save. Joshua Wood's been excellent, and that's another big one.
Massive stop and great rebound control as well. Pops back up, makes the nice pass.
Latrell Harris on the run. There's pressure, but he makes a great pass ahead. Oh, there's Rahanic, can't catch it. Connor Ham's pass was just a little too far ahead for him.
I understand the idea there, but your execution has to be absolutely perfect in overtime. Rahanic streaking just a little too far for him. I know Connor Ham had a real hot start to the game, 3 goals. Maybe a little too confident right now. A couple of questionable shots and takes so far.
Haber has it. And the thing is, I mean, Connor Ham, you see the excitement. Rahanic's running open. It's going to be a great chance. But he just ripped that pass. He could have just kind of drifted it up and let Rahanic run onto it.
Exactly.
Simeone. Thought about going behind the net, but Chris Wire is all over Michael Byrne. Sorry, that's William Carndiff, 19 for Western behind the net. So Cody Ward takes it. He's watched by Kirchmeier. They've been matched up all day. Comes out, gets the pass. Through to Simeone. Great slide over by Latrell Harris. And no chance there. Western being cautious. Carndiff behind the net. Watched by Wire. Cody Ward is slipping outside. They're going to Ferris, who shoots. That one's wide. And that's going to be Brock Ball. No, it's Western. I thought Chris Wire had that one. But he was a half a step behind, got half a step ahead of Carndiff, but the ball must have gone out already by the time he passed him. Oh, but Wire picks it off. He will get the ball back from Brock. Does he see Carndiff coming on the check? He does. Great job by Wire. He's quietly had a very strong tournament as well.
Yes, he has. That's why he's the All-Canadian honorable mention for
Oh, no. My. Oh, no. Oh, that is devastating for Josh Wood. Went to make the pass. It just took off on him. Heads up to Tristan Simeone, and he bounces it home.
That's a terrible bounce for Harris. He's played so well. He's made some unbelievable saves and allowed his team to kind of rally behind him. But that's a costly turnover that just slides right out of his stick. We know he's struggling to throw the ball with that stick there, and as you can see there, just an untimely turnover.
Yeah. He looks over to the crowd who are cheering him on, saying, "It's okay, Josh." And then he just kind of puts his palm up and says, "What are you going to do?" Unbelievable. So Simeone has put the Mustangs ahead. Is that the first time they've been ahead in this game? I think it is, because Brock was up 3-0.
Who else but Latrell Harris coming up with that loose ball. And
Brock will take a timeout. You get one per half in the overtime.
And that's the thing you got to be thinking right here as well. If you're Wood and you turn that ball over, it's not sudden death. The game's not over. No. Your team has a lot of time to tie this thing back up, and I'm sure. He as a goalie, you got to have a short memory as well. I know it's tough to forget about that, but you really do. You got to worry about the next play. Make that next save.
Yeah. He seemed okay. I mean, he looked to the crowd and just kind of put his palm up, and he was like, "Yeah, happened." I remember talking to Mike Poulin once. I mean, he's won pretty much everything you can win in lacrosse, in the box game for sure. And he was playing for the Kitchener-Waterloo Kodiaks in Peterborough, which is always a tough game to win when you go into Peterborough and play the Lakers. And he had one where he picked up a ball in his crease and went to throw it, and it rolled out the back and just dribbled into the net for a goal. And, you know, Peterborough wound up coming back and winning the game by 1 goal. And I talked to Poulin after. I said, you know, Mike, that's so tough. Like, what do you do? And he says, you know, it happens. You just hope they don't wind up winning by 1. and laughed a bit. I mean, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a regular season MSL game. It wasn't a championship game, and it's, you know, so it's not directly correlative, but Josh Wood looks like he's ready to face the next shot to me. Here comes Brock trying to get it back for him. Campbell Parker. On the run. Haber on him. The pass is too far for Brown. It's going to get back over center, and the first man there will be Cody Ward. He does, it bounces away from him. Kurtzmeyer knocks it ahead. Runs over, somebody's back to cover him, and Kurtzmeyer will come back on D. But it goes out of bounds, and Cody Ward will get it. Oh no, there's a violation. And Cody Ward is saying come back. That's an offside play against Western as Ward had gone over. Oh, and Brock takes their timeout.
Oh, wow.
That is heads up because that pass was made. There is nobody there to receive it. Until the ball is picked up by the other team, you still have possession of the ball, and you can make that timeout call. So that there was the width of the field, the length of time it took the ball to go the width of the field to make that judgment call and get that timeout and make sure the refs heard you. Or has the half ended?
Yeah, it's the quarter.
Oh, it is the half. Okay. Okay, so they were just rolling it. Okay, we take it all back.
Yep.
I find it very frustrating that we don't have the time running. I don't like it. I understand. And the issue, and I've talked to the refs, and it was the refs' decision because the clock is not controlled down on the field. It's controlled up here, right beside us, and they can't. So they need to have someone, the official time, down there handling it for those minutes because you can't, always pick up when the whistle's gone, when something's happening. But I just don't like it from our perspective and from your perspective, lacrosse friends who want to know the time. I think I'd like to know.
Yeah, of course. No, I totally get it. Totally understand it. If that's the one, maybe our only complaint about this Baggataway weekend, I think it's been a pretty successful weekend, no doubt.
We're going to take 1 minute as they have the break, and we'll be back with the Baggataway Cup Championship on Lacrosse TV. We're back underway in the second overtime period, and Mitch Gustafson had the ball but gets it knocked out of his stick. Well, had the stick knocked out of his hands by John Andrew Kitt. What a play by a young man who's having a tremendous tournament, tremendous game today. He's at Huron College of Western from Ridgeville, Ontario. Second year of eligibility, and what a game he's having.
Yeah, he's been huge, big plays like that. He's just so sound and steady. Sometimes, his play doesn't speak volumes to how good he really is, but today it's been impact plays that has really stuck out.
Like the heads-up play by Gustafson, the veteran rookie, as it were.
Yeah.
Just started school, but he's completed his junior career, drafted by the Toronto Rock. There's some pressure on Kitt. It gets away from him, and he can't control it. Great effort there to get the ball back by Connor Ham.
Great job by Ham.
But Gustafson, after the stick was knocked away, just kept his momentum going, kept running to the bench. You can go to the bench without your stick. You just can't engage in the play. So rather than going back and getting it, he just got off. Here's Cree Blakely. Oh, the shot off the post. He was about an inch away from tying it up, and Hayden Nix comes away with the ball. He'll make the pass up to Keegan Crowley. He's going to lob it back to to Moriyama. Kit's over on the far side for now. And Western, the stall is on Western. Nix runs it over center. Gets it down to Tequila. He's being chased by Papadenic. Reverses course and gets it to Simeone. Rowan Kelly was cutting. Latrell Harris sees it. Lets Mac Mitchell get him, and Harris will keep an eye on Nick Ferris.
Oh, wow.
Strip check by Tamas. Brock will get possession. There's a loose ball violation. And the Badgers have the ball. They're going to try to get a chance to come and tie this up. Harris with it. He'll slow things down. Timeout taken by the Badgers. And they'll set up what they hope will be the play to even things up.
See, that's the defense that Tamas has to bring in. Use that aggression, still be tenacious on ball defending, but hone it in, I should say. And don't those hacks don't need to be on the arm. Keep it clean, and he does that exactly. Strips that ball loose. That's probably the biggest play he's made all weekend.
So we talked earlier, if you're Brock, what do you do? If you're Western, what did you do? Well, it worked out pretty well. Now if you're Brock, what are you trying to set up?
I've mentioned it before, Brock. The thing that's great with them, I know we said, Woodland, the only goal scorer with more than 30 points during the regular season, and it's a little bit of a drop off for everyone else. But there's so many other players that had 20 points, and that's their depth. They have so much depth scoring. So yeah, you probably chalk something up to free up a guy like Woodland, but then you also have other options as well. Parker Campbell's been so good around the crease. Maybe you initiate a dodge with your midfielder to try to draw that slide, find a guy like him in the middle. But they have so many options. They have so many huge weapons. I mean, you see.
Hand it to Connor Brown and let him run through people.
I was just literally just going to say, you see him walking there. I think you got to think he might initiate this dodge with the ball.
They're going to start with the ball in the stick of Connor Brown, and Austin Haber has the responsibility to cover him. Cree Blakely trying to create. Gets it to Brown. He rips it. Save Manny Najjar. It's in front. Campbell Parker tried to grab it, but Najjar was able to get to it, and he calmly tosses it over to Keegan Crowley. He'll run away from the forecheck by Curtis Woodland. Austin Haber with it, and he's going to call timeout. Veteran savvy move by Austin Haber. Fifth-year business student from Toronto, and Haber playing in front of his hometown fans and his fans from Western. And, boy, he's had himself a tournament.
He's been fantastic. I talked about it off the top of the first broadcast they played. He really, really was trying to work on, his ball handling, his stick skills, trying to, not just become more offensive, but be able to move up the field, get it in safe places. And I mean, he's become such a well-rounded player. We know how good he is defensively. We know how athletic he is, but he's become a very, very strong all-around lacrosse player, not just a defensive midi specialist now.
We don't know how long is left, but it's not long as we're into this second overtime period. Last year, these teams were tied after 80 minutes, and we had 6 goals in the 8 minutes of overtime as Western outscored Brock 4-2 to take that 16-14 win. It made sense. I mean, I think we expected, with it being 8-8 after regulation time, that it would be hard to come by goals in the overtime. It has been just the one from Western so far, and will it be enough? You have the one thing we've talked about this before. I mean, Mitch Gustafson's very good on faceoffs, but Western has so much confidence in Jackson Rakosi that if an opportunity presents itself, because Brock's defense is so good, normally in this case you just want to run out the rest of the time, because if you score, there's the chance for the other team to go get the faceoff, score, get the faceoff, and go score. But in this case, I would think at some point you may even put the ball in the empty net. A roll pass from Ferris, it gets away from Davis. He tracks it down. He's pushed from behind, and it will be a loose ball push. Chris Wire, nothing really intentional. He just kind of got tangled up and toppled him. It's the right call. Just a bit of a tough break for Wire. Davis just puts his shoulder down, runs past Wire, and Latrell Harris is knocked down, and it's not going to be a call, so Harris gets the ball for Brock. Oh, wait.
It's
they're
stepped
going to
out
make
of
him
bounds.
start back there, yeah.
Because he stepped out of bounds.
Oh, he did step on the line.
Yep.
Okay.
So they're saying pull back, but Harris did
Right.
get lucky there with that shove to the ground.
Josh Wood makes the pass ahead to Kirchmeier. Great little pass. Gets to Mac Mitchell. Time is ticking away on the Badgers. They've got to make something happen here. Mitchell goes to the bench to get Rahanic out. Curtis Woodland is being locked off by Keegan Crowley. Number 4s on each team. Crowley is absolutely traveling with Woodland. There's Connor Brown. Runs for the check of Moriyama. The bounce shot misses. Campbell Parker gets it back. Can he make something happen? Parker running across the top. He's indicating he wants Cree Blakely to do something. He's got the ball. Blakely will pass it down. Here's a chance. The pass is knocked away by Haber. Big battle on the floor, on the ground. It's going to be Blakely flipping it out. A swipe by Brown, and Keegan Crowley comes up with it. He's going to launch it the length of the field. Tries to get it to Cody Ward. The clock has ended. The Western Mustangs are 3 straight time Baggataway Cup champions. They're 6th overall. What a game. What a win. What heartbreak for the Brock Badgers, but what jubilation for the Western Mustangs.
Call it a dynasty. 3 championships in a row. 4 trips to the Baggataway Cup in a row. This team so well-rounded at all aspects of the game, and they'll earn their 3rd consecutive Canadian national championship. What a performance by this Western team.
So impressive on both sides of this field. And I mean, the defenses, we talked before the game and during the game about how we thought the defenses were the real backbones of these teams, and they were both absolutely brilliant today.
Brilliant indeed. I mean, you got to feel for this Brock Badgers club. They controlled the majority of the game. They had such a well-executed game plan, but just as the game started to get down in that 4th quarter, a couple of questionable plays and unfortunate bounces here and there, and that's the difference. The Mustangs were able to capitalize on those mistakes. And
to a large part, they were able to cause those. I mean, whether some of those mistakes you talk about, I mean, I agree. Some decisions that I'm sure that some of the Badgers would like to have back, but Western doesn't give you a lot of time to think. They put so much pressure on you at all points of the field in all phases of the game. We're going to stay with you through the presentation of the Baggataway Cup, of the players of the game, of the tournament MVP. Right now you can see we did just see a dejected Brock Badgers club, and boy, 2 years in a row to go to overtime and then fall just short against a terrific Western team. But Brock, they know the history of their program. They know all those 18 championships, the last one in 2009, they wanted so much to add to that lore. And boy, they have, just not quite the way they wanted to.
No, that's the thing. And despite not winning a championship since 2009, the standard is still set for a championship or bust. That's the way this Badgers program has been built.